There are generally 12 principles of public administration, which act as the backbone of almost all operations in public administration. Some of these principles have been called pillars of public administration. In this video, we will list and explain some of the principles of public administration. Welcome back to Public Administration 101. Proudly brought to you by Kano Consultants. For professional advice you can trust. As indicated, in this video, we will discuss the following 12 principles of public administration. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first principle of public administration we will look at is transparency. Transparency is one principle that aims at keeping public servants in check as far as their operations is concerned. Government can only achieve transparency when there is free flow of information that concerns the interests of the people to be served. Such information should also be made easily accessible. The next principle to be discussed is equity. Public servants deal with people from diverse backgrounds, who all deserve public services. The principle of equity aims to strike a balance of serving all people, irrespective of their race, religion, disability, age, sexual orientation, economic standard, or even social standing. The principle of equity is also a commitment to fairness, justice, and equality. In the formulation of public policies, the implementation of such public policies, the distribution of public services, and the management of all public institutions, aimed at serving the public directly, or through a contract. The next principle of public administration is economy. This principle is based on the idea of efficiency and effectiveness. The main goal of this principle is that public administrators should aim to manage public resources in an efficient manner. Public administrators should also deliver the best public service at very low costs, and ensure that they add value for the benefit of the people. The next principle we will look at is subsidiarity. Due to public administration's concern with efficiency, effectiveness, and the need to improve, focus has been placed on formalizing service delivery. This therefore birthed the principle of subsidiarity, where departments, ministries, and agencies are organized on the basis of common or closely related purpose. The principle of subsidiarity also provides that governance should take place as close as possible to the citizens. This means that lower levels of government should be protected against the undue interference of the national government. This also means that certain public administrative functions and powers should be placed at lower levels of government, where possible. Next is the principle of pluralism. Pluralism emphasizes the distribution of power among various economic and ideological groups. Pluralism recognizes diversity as a positive aspect of society, and believes that diverse functional or cultural groups within a society, such as religious groups, trade unions, professional organizations, and ethnic minorities, should have autonomy for administrative purposes. In terms of public administration, pluralism places public administrators in a position where they must serve various diverse groups of people impartially. The next principle we will look at is accountability. Accountability is a principle that arose from the fact that societies started becoming more organized, which led to control of resources being centralized and assigned to a few elected government structures. This meant that the public have, to some extent, become dependent on a few elected government officials and appointed public administrators to provide them with quality public services. As a result, public administrators are held to a higher standard of accountability by administrative principles and the constituents they serve. Accountability is therefore an important principle that can make or break a government. Accountability includes ethical decision-making, equal representation, legitimacy, and the efficient and effective use of public resources. Before we continue on the remaining principles of public administration, please make sure that you check out our other videos on public administration under this channel. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. You can also support the channel by joining our exclusive channel membership community by clicking on the Join button below. When you join, you get a number of exclusive benefits, such as early access to our videos, as well as our uploading schedule. You can also suggest new topics we should cover for future videos, and exclusively chat to our creators. Now, back to today's video. The next principle we will look at is participation. As previously indicated, public administration accepts that all people are equal, irrespective of their backgrounds, ethnicity, gender, and affiliations. This is why participation from all members of the society is important to ensure that government services and public policies are inclusive and progressive. Another principle of public administration is access to public services. To achieve equity, every citizen should have equal access to public services, such as healthcare and education, among other things. This principle is fundamental and complements the principle of transparency, which ensures that the public are also afforded the right to access to information, to enable them to view and interrogate how public resources are distributed. Another principle of public administration is representation. The fundamental building block around the principle of representation is the idea of the will of the people. As a result, consideration is given to who will represent this will of the people? And will this will be represented by those elected by such people? Representation, therefore, is not just the cornerstone of public administration, but it is the core essence of the entire government system. All democratic power that governments yields comes from the people. This principle ensures that the people are afforded an opportunity to choose who is going to be responsible and accountable for the country and public resources. So, without people, the government has no power. Another important principle of public administration is legitimacy. For legitimacy to be carried out, public administrators should provide a conducive environment for adequate public involvement. There must also be opportunities for empirical research and decision-making in order to accomplish legitimacy in the state. Public approval of a state's power is therefore a determining factor whether or not it is legitimate. According to Dr. Bowmaster, the person who has the authority and power is legitimate. Power is derived from authority. Authority is derived from legitimacy. Legitimacy is a moral or normative standing. So, whenever that person makes an unethical decision, this will reflect in his power, and he may lose it. The next principle is responsibility. The principle of responsibility in relation to public administration ensures that public administrators are held accountable by the public and must be held responsible by the officials who have been elected by the public. In order for public servants to be responsible, they must adhere to certain values and principles which make them efficient, legitimate, and representative of social equity and charge of principles of administration. The last principle of public administration we will look at is integrity. Integrity as a principle of public administration has to do with the ethical conduct of public administrators and elected officials. Public sector officials are expected to behave appropriately in their dealings with private citizens, businesses, and other public authorities. Office holders, elected representatives, and public servants must also behave professionally and ethically. Before we conclude, please take time to check out our other videos on public administration and public finance under this channel, where we discuss various topics relating to public administration, public management, as well as the management of the public sector, including the running of government. To conclude, in this video, we discussed the 12 important principles that act as a backbone of public administration. We further explained how some of these principles are considered core pillars of public administration. Having said that, we've come to the end of our video on the 12 principles of public administration. So, thank you for watching. If you love our content and find this video helpful, let us know by leaving us a comment below. Also make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And remember to like this video. And also to leave us a comment below this video. You can also continue the conversation by following us on social media at ConsultKano, or use the hashtag ConsultKano. Until next time, check out this video. Thank you again for watching. Kano Consultants. For professional advice you can trust.